What's up? I'm Scott Mills of Lifeway. I'm here today with Youth Pastor Brian Mills from Long Hollow Baptist Church, and we're going to ask him 5 questions. So Brian, give us a little bit of a journey update on where you've been and where you are today.
Well, I've been in youth ministry for about 11 years, and really I've been in youth ministries as small as 7 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where I worked at the Church of Battle Creek, and I've recently been the youth pastor at Second Baptist Houston for the past few years and moved here to Long Hollow about 8-9 months ago. And so I've really been through the journey of going from 7 teenagers. We're in Second Houston. We took 3,000 to camp last year, and here at Long Hollow we average right at 1,000 a week, students that have come in and come out of our ministry, and about to do an event where we'll probably have 1,700 students show up at it. And so it's a lot of fun. It's just a crazy journey, and God has blessed us a lot along that journey, but it's been really neat to see God's favor upon areas of life that we've been in, the places, the churches we've served in, and been so blessed to see what God's done.
Awesome. What do you see as the greatest need right now in student ministry for student pastors to know? What's the greatest need that you see with your students?
Well, I think some research y'all put out recently shows one of the greatest needs, and I preached on this past week in our student ministry, and you can podcast our youth ministry by going to Long Hollow Students on podcasts and hear some of these messages I've done. But I think one of the greatest needs of youth ministry today is evangelism. I just think we're losing the market, and that might be beating a dead horse because I know a lot of people are talking about it right now, but as research y'all put out, man, back in the day we baptized during the Jesus movement 175,000 students, and we just recently baptized 75,000 students. I mean, we're losing students like crazy, but population of teenagers is growing like crazy. So where are the salvations? Where are the baptisms? I think we're losing our intentionality of being focused on sharing the gospel. And I think we're hoping that students will just come and they'll just somehow get saved, when we as student pastors really got to be intentional in taking the avenues that we have in youth ministry and reaching out to those kids and watching them come to Christ, sharing the gospel within our youth ministries, following up with decisions of students who have given their life to Christ so that they can follow through in believers' baptism. Not just leaving them hanging once they get baptized, but, as we talk about here a lot at Long Hollow, to watch them get connected after baptism via one of our small groups or with one of our adults, where they can get connected and really make somewhat of a large student ministry become very small in their lives, so they can be mentored and encouraged. But they'll never get to that level until they realize they need Jesus. And students are just dying in today's world, and I could tell stories for hours about it. But, this year alone, we've baptized already a little over 100 teenagers right here at Long Hollow. And it's just been a testimony of the evangelistic avenue that we've created week in and week out. And I think that's an area we're missing in today's youth culture. I think stats show it. Y'all's research proves it. But if you just travel youth ministry, I think all the youth pastors watching this would not disagree with me that we are losing students coming to know Christ today. So I think it's a big need. I think it's the largest need we have in our culture right now.
So you've been using a lot of social media stuff here at Long Hollow, and one of the things you've done to reach students has been this thing called the YouTube Challenge. Tell us a little bit about the YouTube Challenge and kind of why you came up with that idea and how you see that those ideas beginning to address the need you just mentioned, which is evangelism.
Well, kind of the focus we want to take is we want to capture the first 8 weeks of every semester, fall semester and spring semester, with just an outreach opportunity through small group. We're always creating outreach opportunities through Wednesday night where we draw in the masses. But what do we do to help our small group leaders build connection with their students and grow their small group? And so we began to dream. Really, we dreamed this back at Second Houston. My staff and I were sitting in this home, and we were dreaming, what should we do? And we came up with this idea, well, every kid loves YouTube. What if we created videos that promoted our youth ministry and put them on YouTube? Well, then we took that idea and we said, why don't we have small group leaders like yourself, your group, and we say, hey, Scott, your group needs to make a YouTube video. The YouTube video must promote Wednesday night, because we do Wednesday night here at Long Hollow, and it must promote Sunday morning, because those are our 2 main venues that we want students a part of. Wednesday night is outreach, Sunday morning is connection. And so for that to take place, we thought we'd put it on the small group leaders to go and make any kind of video. You do whatever you want as a video, but it must promote Sunday morning and it must promote Wednesday night. And then what it did for us was it got these small group leaders building relationships with their students like they would never have. I mean, you're going out to shoot some crazy video out there and you're just being stupid and you're being dumb and you're like, oh, we're idiots. But who is not an idiot on YouTube, for goodness sake? Just go watch it and you'll figure it out. And so YouTube is one of the most attended websites in the country right now. I mean, you got Facebook, you got YouTube, and you got Google. So why not use them, you know? And so we uploaded all these videos. Everybody had to submit their video to us as our staff, as the student ministry staff. We watched them to approve them, to be sure there wasn't anything inappropriate. Every now and then we have to ask some people to change them. And then we upload them ourselves to our YouTube site, which was youtube.com/LongHollowStudents, where you can go right now watch all the YouTube videos that were made. And we took that and built relationships in small group. We built a connection in small group. Well, then the kids took those and they sent links to all their friends via Facebook, you know, some by email, but email's not that popular today. They're putting them on their friends' Facebook walls. They're asking all their friends, hey, go watch it. They're texting their friends saying, watch this video right now on your phone. And so they're begging all their kids to watch it. Well, the kids are watching it and they're hearing about our youth ministry. Now, our kids were motivated because we told them you're going to get a prize. The one with the most hits and the most comments wins $500 within our youth ministry. That small group wins $500. So it promotes your kids like, go, 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 go. Get it done and get out there and have fun and go crazy and capture the moment. But as they're doing that, they're telling everybody about our youth ministry. So we had videos. Back in Houston, we did it. We had a video that had almost 30,000 hits.
Wow.
Here we had videos pushing 2,000 hits. Just one video. So that's 2,000 people hearing about Long Hollow student ministry, Long Hollow small groups, and hearing all about us here at Long Hollow, and it draws students in. And every time I've done the YouTube challenge, which has only been twice, both times I've accomplished that, I watched our small group numbers take a huge climb. Partly because our small group leaders are calling their kids to say, hey, get here to be in the video. What kid doesn't want to be in a video? So it's putting work on the small group leader and making them get a little focused. But then it's also putting work on the teenagers. And they're wanting more students. And we added a little twist, like the more visitors you have in your group, the more points you can get will double your hits by amount of visitors and some things like that. You can be creative. Whatever fits your student ministry is the best thing to do with that. But it's definitely an idea that works, and we took the first 8 weeks to kind of jump into that and do that this past semester.
Cool. And you have a blog that's about that, right? Could you give us that address?
Yes. I have a blog that has, on the sidebar of my blog, I've got a few just things that we've done under a little section called Free Stuff. And you can find a link to YouTube challenge on exactly how to pull it off in your student ministry. And that's www.brianmills247.com. So it's Brian Mills, BRIANMILLS 247.com.
Okay.
That'll take you straight to my blog, and
cool.
You can get the document on how to pull it off.
So, and a few other things.
And a few other things, yeah.
Okay.
So,
how do you? Let's talk about parents in youth ministry. How do you engage parents in your work here at Long Hollow?
Well, we're taking a focus right now at Long Hollow of becoming more of a family-focused ministry. And we don't want it just to be, we don't want to isolate, this is just student ministry, this is just children's ministry, this is just adult ministry. But really, we're all on the same team. And a lot of times in churches, we isolate ourselves. Well, the adult ministry is doing this, but the youth ministry is going to do this. Many of you know what I'm talking about. And we really decided, hey, we're all on one team. We're under one hat. And we've got to work together. And so we're trying to implement right now on Wednesday nights, we do a parenting class that one of our staff leadership teams leads, a guy by the name of Jeff Lovingood. He and his wife, Jeff and Rachel Lovingood, lead that class for parenting. And that encourages parents to attend while their students are attending. We're also using y'all's curriculum, Known. And Known has a fantastic track that we're beginning to implement. We're going to start implementing in August, where every week you can put questions up on what was asked within small group. So a parent can now get online and say, now I know what my kid talked about. Well, here's some questions I can ask them about Sunday morning. Well, that creates a venue for me to send a letter out to all my parents and say, want to have a spiritual discussion with your kid? We're putting 5 questions up a week that you can ask that your student talked about on Sunday morning. We have no work. There's no work in that except updating our website. Lifeway does it all for us.